going to call this regular city council meeting to order. Today is Thursday, September the 11th, 2025, and it is 5:40 p.m. For the record, we have Councilman Graham, Councilman Arona, and Councilwoman Trujillo in session today. At this time, we'll have an invocation from Councilman Graham and the Pledge of Allegiance from Councilman Arona.
Father, we are so grateful to be here and bless here today, Father. And we seek and ask for your wisdom, knowledge, and direction on the decisions that we have to make tonight. We love you and thank you for all that you blessed us with and Pecos. And just ask you to be with that Charlie Kirk's family right now, Father, and the devastation that they've gone through. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, if you have your cell phone, please make sure it's on silent. And I will open the floor for public comments. Just a reminder, this is a time for residents to share with the council any comments, concerns, and/or complaints that they have. It is asked that each person limit their time to 3 minutes, as we do have other scheduled agenda items to attend to, and for record purposes, it is asked that you stand at the podium and state your name for the record.
Mayor and Council, my name is Kenneth Winkles, Jr. For the record, I wrote the following statement 3 days after your August 28th meeting at which I spoke in public comments. It has been brought to my attention that I may have insulted some members of the Town of Pecos City Council with my public comments at your last meeting. It was never my intention to insult or make anyone feel that my words were a personal attack. My apologies to anyone and everyone on the council or elsewhere that may have taken my comments as an insult or as a personal attack. As I said, that was never my intent. Thank you for your time and dedication as a council member and who works hard at making Pecos a better place to live. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Hello, Mayor, Council. My name's Vicki Carrasco. I just wanted to introduce myself. I work for Kleinman Consultants, and I just wanted to visit with you and provide a quick comment. I was born in Pecos, and we are looking forward to working with you all on different projects whenever an opportunity arises for that. There's 3 words I want to leave you with: safety, honesty, and teamwork. I do a lot of public involvement. Our firm is a civil engineering firm and a planning firm. I'm an urban planner, but a lot of the work that I do is about working with different stakeholders and different groups, and a lot of the work that I do is about transportation and safety. So safety is a huge priority for TxDOT and for communities and counties and cities. So in processes where you're trying to address safety issues, building trust with the people that I'm going to be working with and that the city is going to be working with is a huge priority for me. And then teamwork, of course, we know that we want to be collaborative and hear from not just the different stakeholders, but the public. So hopefully in the future years, we get to work with you on different projects, both with the city, the county, and economic development. We've worked with the Pecos Freight Village, the truck parking study that TxDOT did. I was part of that group that helped with bringing that idea up and elevating that, as well as with the reliever route. So with that, I'll take my seat. But thank you for giving me this opportunity, and looking forward to working with you all.
Thank you.
Council, Mayor, for the record, my name is Ramon Carrasco. I'm owner of Kleinman Consultants. Vicky is my sister. We had a hard time bringing her back from DC after she left from A&M, but thankfully she is back, and she's been with us for the last 7 years now, and I'm happy that she's working with me. And we're both a small family, a big family with a small firm. So our firm is from Presidio, Texas. It's a small town. We're a small firm as well. I'm a civil engineer, and together, we do all sorts of civil engineering work with TxDOT, with cities. I used to do a lot of work with the city of Pecos before COVID. We helped with the ballpark the cyclone, helping Jimmy right now with some housing projects. I did a lot of work for the city back in 2017. We did all the sewer and water improvements on your bond, and we're just here letting you know we're back in the area, and we would like to work for the city again if when an opportunity arises. And we're a small firm. We understand small communities, and I mean, we're trustworthy. We try to do the best for the cities and always keep safety in mind, like Vicky said. But we're here. Any opportunities that y'all have in the future, we would like to submit proposals. And we're actually already in two of the teams that submitted proposals for your road safety project. And that's the main reason that we're here, to try to see how that goes on the selection. And hopefully you all take consideration in our small company. And we're teaming up with a bigger team and several firms that are going to come in and do a good project for you guys. But thank you all for your time.
Any other public comments?
Hello. My name is Daniela Lopez, and I reside in housing here in Pecos. I stand here today because I have a grievance against Housing Director John Salcido. My grievance is that Mr. Salcido has used his position and authority in an abusive way towards my family and I. His actions of intimidation and his choice of words towards me are belittling. And I find it disturbing when my children are affected by his actions mentally and emotionally. Just recently, outside my apartment, once again, he showed these actions of his demeanor, not only in front of my children, but also in front of my neighbors, workers, family members, board member Mike Mason, Mr. Rudy Martinez, and his wife. I'm not just advocating for myself today and my children, but also for those that might be going through the same situation now or in the past. And I pray that a change can be made. Thank you.
Any other public comments? Okay, we will close public comments at this time. We will go on to our consent agenda. Item E1, approve the minutes of the August 28, 2025 regular city council meeting. E2, the August 2025 strategic plan report. E3, review the expenditure report. And E4, review the Pecos Economic Development Corporation's financial report.
Jimmy, I had a question on the financial statement. It's deferred inflow from the BRTC lease, $686,000. What is exactly? You may have told us before, and I can't remember.
Which item is it?
It's
Councilman
under
Brown?
liabilities in your balance sheet.
Randy, I'll speak to that, because I guarantee you, Jimmy sees them on there. But what that relates to is the GASB pronouncements for government accounting, as well as FASB, that relate to leases and that. And this deferred revenue, the reason that it's on there that way is because of the new guidelines require you to put the entire value of the lease on the balance sheet that way. And so it's revenues that will come in over the next indefinite period of time. So that's what those deferred revenues relate to.
So how far out does you have to put them on?
You have to put them on anything over 1 year. So any lease that's 1 year or less, you don't have to do it. But if you're looking at those statements like that, you're going to any operating leases or lease revenues. So there's times when you'll see a deferred revenue, or there may be a deferred asset that are going to be on the books, and it's strictly the change in the governmental regulations that are required for governmental entities that way.
Is it discounted?
It is, absolutely. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So I didn't want to step in.
No,
But
thank
that's
you.
easier for me to answer that instead of Jimmy on that
You did
one.
everything.
There you go. Appreciate it.
One other question.
Yes.
We've got that purchase of land, but it's not showing up in your inventory, 402,000, or is that something you can talk about?
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilman Graham to approve this consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. We'll go to our non-consent agenda. Item F1, discuss, consider the reappointment or appointment of 3 board members to the Pecos Economic Development Board. Goal 1, Sustainable Economic Development. Jimmy Dutchover, PEDC Director.
Mayor and council members, thank you for the opportunity to visit with you. Per our bylaws, we did advertise for individuals who were interested in serving with the Economic Development Corporation. There are 3 terms that are up to be renewed. The names are in front of you. The 3 individuals have asked to be reappointed with it. If it's the council's position to reapprove or to approve them, then it would be Paul Hinojos' last term. It would be Jake McKinney's 2nd term, and it would be Jenny Barmore's 1st term. As you're aware, she completed an unexpired term of Mr. Parent, who left, and it doesn't count. So she's still eligible to serve a total of 4 if the council approved. No one else submitted names during the period of advertisement. We closed it. We encouraged others to do so, but I must say I have a very good board. Thank you for those appointments. So my recommendation would be to appoint all 3 again to the EDC for a 2-year term.
Make motion. The recommendation.
Thank you, sir.
Second. I have a motion from Councilman Graham, a second from Councilwoman Trujillo to approve the reappointment of Paul Hinojos, Jake McKinney, and Jenny Barmore to the Pecos Economic Development Board. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries.
I'll
Thank you.
make the notifications to them. Thank you.
Item F2, discuss, consider appointing 1 member to the Hotel Occupancy Tax Board. Goal 5, promote open and consistent communication. Wendy Lujan, City Secretary.
Mayor and Council, a few weeks ago, you asked me to re-advertise for the Hotel Occupancy Tax Board member. We have 1 vacancy. The prior applications that we have received in the past weren't meeting the qualifications that we were needing, which is 1 member of the hotel motel business. In your packets, you'll now find an application for Richard Bill, and he manages and operates the Swiss Chalet and Best Western here in Pecos. He has not served on a board before, to my knowledge and to the records. He is very well interested in serving this board if that's what you guys wish as well.
I wish more people would get involved, it's,
Yes.
but, Mayor, I'll make a motion that we appoint Mr. Richard Bill to the Hotel Occupancy Tax Board.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilwoman Trujillo, a second from Councilman Arona, to approve the appointment of Richard Bill to the Hotel Occupancy Tax Board. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries.
I just want to clarify my comment, nothing against Mr. Bill. I don't want anybody to think that, wow, why doesn't anybody else get involved? I'm just inviting the public and community to, get involved. It's, want to learn about the growth and community and economic development and everything that's happening in Pecos. I encourage everybody, folks that are interested, to get involved.
I may also just echoing what Councilman Cruz is saying, a lot going on in government, a lot coming in the Pecos. And we need involvement and participation, have a part in the decision making and the growth of what comes to Pecos. That way you have, get what you want, you get involved.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Okay, we'll go to item F3, update on projects and programs in the Community Services Department. This is Goal 5, promote open and consistent communication. Holly Jaraki, Director of Community Services.
Mayor, Council, Holly Jaraki, Community Services Director. I wanted to give you an update on some projects that we have closed this week and last week. We completed our pavement restoration program on the east side of town. We completed and covered 115,000 square feet of roadway with the pavement restoration. It's just another program that we take advantage of to continue our preventive maintenance on the roadways. We completed our group seal coat program, which was 58,000 square yards on the north side, pardon me. And I did attach that graph to identify that we did both it just doesn't have the graphic identifying it in that lane, and that, that was one of the other.
People are still going through it.
No.
You turned up. I'm serious.
No, I know, I believe you.
I believe. You're shaking your head, no, you're not. Yeah.
No, I believe you, because I see it. I go to the park quite often, so I see it, yeah. And I'm just like hoping that they're taking a left and not going straight,
Can I ask you a question on, I guess from Eddie on 7th Street all the way to 285 or Cedar? There's 10 manholes on the right-hand side.
Mhm.
And you get them, they're just perfect where you have to get them. Is there anything, I guess the cure for that would be?
Actually, there is something. I can reach out to Kelvin and let him know that you brought it up. But so there's these size rings that they can actually insert or take out. I don't know that they have. They're supposed to be a grade, all of them, all the manholes. But I can mention it to him and see if if he can provide a solution. And so, if you'll indulge me, I have one more thing, because I have code on there. So, and I am going to read it. I put this together just based on a lot of things I'm hearing. So I just wanted to give a little bit of background, a little more insight. So over the past 11 months, code enforcement has faced criticism and frustration from some members of our community for a perceived lack of action. While this has caused understandable concern, much of it stems from long-standing challenges that the department has been working diligently to overcome. When I assumed responsibility of the code department in May of '24, new protocols were implemented, clear expectations were set, and accountability was reinforced. Our staff was already doing their best with resources available, but it was evident that stronger oversight and support were needed. The challenges we face today did not develop overnight. Following the COVID-19 downturn in 2019, staffing was reduced to only 2 code officials. This led to a noticeable increase in property neglect and violations. With limited staff, the department struggled to keep pace. However, as of November 24, we are finally beginning to regain our footing. By state law, every new code official must serve as an officer in training for 1 year, under the direct supervision of a licensed code enforcement officer. Within that year, they must also complete the required training before being approved to sit for the state licensing exam. During this process, each officer in training is paired with one of our 3 licensed officers. That would be myself, Tim Latta, or Cindy Fuentes, gaining firsthand experience in the purpose, process, and legal enforcement of cities' adopted ordinances. Each official is then assigned a territory to ensure consistent coverage across the community. Compliance is not always immediate or straightforward. Some violations can be corrected quickly, while others require extended timelines due to legal processes, property conditions, or cooperation from property owners. Our goal is compliance first. What is most important is that we enforce ordinances consistently and fairly across our entire city. Our town's challenges did not arise in 1 to 5 years. They developed over decades. Once a thriving community in the 70s, our city experienced a sharp downturn due to declines in our oil and gas, which is our leading economic provider here. creating an economic hardship, population loss, infrastructure deterioration through the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Today, we are on the mend. The city has committed to recovery by adding staff, resources, and oversight to the Code Enforcement Department. With a dedicated and knowledgeable team, we are already beginning to see progress. Still, lasting change will take time. The process of rebuilding our city is measured not in days or weeks, but in steady, consistent improvement that ensures long-term results. Our community partnership and volunteers, code enforcement is only one part of keeping our city safe and welcoming. Community volunteers also play an important role, whether by helping with neighborhood cleanups, reporting concerns, or assisting with beautification efforts. Together, residents, volunteers, and staff create lasting improvements that strengthen pride in our community. And so, I just want to revisit some of the accomplishments of code. I presented a quarterly report in April of this year and July of this year. We also implemented a new software for code. We just went live last week. So the purpose of that was because the pre-existing software that we had many faults within it. The information was proving not to be reliable. So with that said, we did initiate our software last week and are actively inputting cases right now. Everybody completed their training. But I did want to point out that within the first 3 months of our having our new officers in place that started in November, we had went from very minimal calls to 195 cases a month. This is new staff. That was 2 new staff. And then we brought in a 3rd staff member at the end of January and then a 4th staff member 2 months ago. And so it's steadily growing. 93 follow-ups a month have led to 130 follow-ups a month. And we anticipate providing a monthly report with more detailed information to identify exactly what code is doing. Right now, those reports were not available. Were all the old Harvard system. Let's take notes. It's fun, I would get with staff and ask them, make sure you're documenting everything. And wanted to also advise that our plan is to start initiating our dilapidated processes October 1. So we're ready to start implementing that again and bringing to council those properties deemed dangerous or dilapidated. And we're going to get back on track. I just ask for your patience and advocate for our team who are working very hard to meet the expectations of our city and the citizens in it.
And citizens do not have to wait to get a notice from the city to clean their lots.
They do not. They do not.
But I think that's what they do. They kind of forget that they have a lot somewhere that they need to check on.
Every community in the state of Texas has, code enforcement in place because of irresponsible property owners. Same thing with your animal control, irresponsible pet owners, right? So, yes.
Especially after the rain we had.
Yes.
It sprouted all the weeds.
Yeah. We had a contractor that thought they were actually trees, so, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go on to item F4, discuss, consider resolution 25-09-01R, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a purchase agreement with Defender Supply for the outfitting of patrol vehicles in the amount of $331,565.78. Goal 2, safe and secure city. Lisa Tondo, Chief of Police.
Mayor, Council, Lisa Tarango, Chief of Police. As you see before you is resolution for the outfitting of 14 patrol vehicles that are finally coming out. We got 4 already in, and another 4 are being shipped actually tomorrow. We should have them by Monday.
You have officers for them?
I do have officers for them. I do. I know this has gone through like several budget periods as far as what we've worked over, 23, 24, and 25, and so this is the final piece, if you will. It's the cages, the radios, all of the equipment that goes inside of these vehicles. And so that's the request. The resolution you'll see says for 375 or not to go above 375. And the reason is we are redesigning the graphics, so you're going to see a new look in the patrol cars and the window tinting, the last ditch items that we have to put on there.
What else are you equipping them with, like computer in the car? Computer?
So these cars are going to have computers, but not because it's going to come from the city's budget. It was part of the grant that I did apply and get. We got it for $440,000 is the amount of grant funding. We are in the process of working with IT to see which computers we are going to put in. But this is basically for the radios, the in-car camera, the stalker radar, the cages, the light bars, all of the other stuff that goes in there. And a lot of times we forget that the equipment inside that vehicle is just as valuable as the vehicle. And so I've worked with TML on making sure that that property is insured to the fullest, because when they're involved in any kind of accident, when the vehicle is totaled in the end, a lot of times I don't think we've been able to reclaim the actual property that's inside that vehicle, which is just as valuable as the car. Because the radio alone is upwards of $6,000. Yes, sir. Camera, another $6,000. It can become very expensive.
It should be insured.
Yes, sir, it does. And Deandra's been really good to help with making sure that we get all of that stuff properly identified, and Marianne gets with TMRS to make sure that it's put with the TML inventory, if you will.
May I make a motion we approve that force as presented by Chief Tarango?
I have a motion from Councilman Graham, a second from a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilman Graham to approve Resolution 25-09-01R as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item F5, discuss, consider Resolution 25-09-02R, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract agreement with Payne Industries for the annexation surveying services for 2023 through 2028 in the amount of $2,213,398. Goal 6, sound governance and fiscal management.
Mayor and Council, Charles Lino, City Manager. This is one that we went through a couple months back, and we put it out for rebid. It was brought back. It was rescored by a different set of people, some the same, some different. Payne Industries was the highest scoring bid again, and therefore we're bringing it back to you and asking for approval to get this process going so we can get our annexation going. We do have Mr. Payne here if you have any questions.
This $2 million, though, will be paid out
Over a period of 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's paid incrementally as the job is done.
So part of it's already been budgeted.
It is. But it hadn't been done, but the work is not, we've already done some of the legwork up front, but some of it has to be redone because some of the property owners have changed and stuff like that. So that's where this number will incorporate and get us all the way through our 2028 annexation plan.
And I had one question on the map. What is the dotted line that's around?
I think that is the ETJ.
ET, okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yes, ma'am. I don't have it in front of me, but that's normally what it's been when we've been putting it together.
And again, this is a survey, not an act of annexation yet.
Well, it's a process that we have to do. He has to do the surveying. He does all of the annexation process, so it does come back each time. This allows us to move it forward to where we can exercise the annexations.
That's a lot of money.
It is.
It's a lot of
Yes,
land.
ma'am.
It's a lot of land, it's a lot of money. The scoring sheets, I don't see them attached. Is this the one that we had previously talked about, right?
We asked to put it out.
Put it out, okay.
We-
So, looking at the contract that Mr. Payne has submitted, I would like there to be a little bit more language in there to protect the city a little bit better. I see that, would like to see that the resolution authorizes up to 5 years of services, but the contract legally binds the city to only 1 year at a time, unless the funds are appropriated.
Yes, ma'am. And
It's a
Councilman,
very good contract for Mr. Payne.
it is. And Councilwoman Trujillo, one of the conversations that we had is the way that this is going to be done, there's going to be individual contracts issued on each piece of it. So there will be something. This is just giving me the authorization so that we're not having to come back every time to do this. If council sees fit, we can come back on every time that we bring each one of the contracts back that way. I have had conversations with the city attorney and some of the stuff that you're talking about. He wants minor, extremely minor modifications. I haven't even talked to Mr. Payne yet because we were just talking about it. But any action taken today is to authorize me to take a look and look at the contracts and modify them with the city attorney's help to bring back to where we do make sure the city's best interests are in play. And I have no problem bringing each one as we continue and we move through this process, just bringing it back for ratification from you all.
I think with an amount like this.
Yes, ma'am.
I think it's our responsibility
Mhm.
to review it as.
No problem. Absolutely, not a problem at all. Each time we get into those areas, what we'll do is bring back that new contract for that individual piece of it. I knew we would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew we would. Yes, ma'am. But one of the things that, and the reason so, that it's so vital is, it is a huge number. But the economic impact, as soon as we annex these in and we can grow the community, is gonna put that number to shame.
It's part of those growing pains.
It is,
that we're
and it
talking
is.
about,
It is an extreme growing
everything
pain.
that
It
we're
is.
putting in.
Yes, ma'am. And what this allows us to do in certain areas, it allows us to incorporate some of the activity that we've been hearing about, to bring it within the city limits so that it benefits us and we're not left out in the cold. It also has a significant impact on what we can incorporate into the TERS so we can recover some of those monies. So,
Growing pains indeed. And it's-
they're horrible sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. Just want the community to know and citizens of Pecos that we don't take stuff like this, oh yeah, just like check.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I totally agree.
You know, and I don't know what other members of the council.
It's much more transparent doing it that way, and I don't disagree with you, and each one will be something like that. So we'll work with Mr. Payne, we'll get the language in there that our city attorney is recommending on that, and then come back and just bring each one to you. And it'll probably be increments, but when we get done with everything, it's gonna be that 2.2 million.
Parker, any?
Yeah, no, they sent me the proposed contract, and I did respond and say there's several things in it I'd like to revise. As it stands, the resolution is simply authorizing the city manager to enter into the contract, but I already spoke with Charles and said that we need to make some changes before we actually execute it, and that's something that we're looking to get done sooner rather than later.
Make a motion that we authorize Charles to join this contract and resolution 2509
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilman Graham, a second from Councilwoman Trujillo to approve Resolution 25-09-02R as presented. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. We'll go on to item F6, discuss, consider resolution 25-09-03R, a resolution awarding the request for qualification bid for the Safe Streets and Roads for All SS4A Comprehensive Safety Action Plan and authorizing the city manager to negotiate a contract. This is Goal 2, Safe and Secure City. Charles Leno, City Manager.
Mayor and Council, Charles Leno, City Manager. This item relates to a grant that we were awarded a few months ago called Safe Streets for All. We're the first one. The county's applying for one too that will come subsequent to this. When we saw the grant was for $1.9 million with a match of $444,000. So it's a $2.3 million project. This is to develop a safety plan for the community and the area. There's an administrative piece of it, so we put out to bid the administration portion of it. It can be up to 20%. I didn't like the 20% number. So the staff put together this RFQ. They went through and they scored them all. We did get 7 submittals. And the highest, here's my glasses. The highest, I mean, I think a scoring sheet was in your package, but the highest rated firm that we had was Foresight Group LLC. Foresight Group LLC and TJKM Engineering were both interviewed by the staff that did this. And just this afternoon, the staff agreed that they would like to award this contract to Foresight Engineering Group or Foresight Group LLC and allow me to enter into a contract with them to get this report done, as well as do all of the reporting to the federal agencies administratively for this project.
What was the dollar amount?
There's not going to be a dollar amount, it's a negotiated amount. And so right now we don't have one on there. It could have been up to 20%. I didn't like that number. We had a couple people that wanted to said we'll do it for the 20%. I don't like the number, because the number when we're looking at 20% of 2.3 is $500,000. So I didn't want to give $500,000 if we don't have to. So we will. I mean, this is just authorizing me to negotiate with them to come up with a fair dollar amount based on the size and scope of the project.
Well, I am on the committee for the county's SS4
Yes, ma'am.
grant, and there's a lot of community input that is needed in this. So
Mhm.
you have to have somebody that can
Manage it.
manage all that and get all of that input. So
Yeah.
it's a big undertaking.
It is.
You do.
It is, and it's like I said, we were very happy with all of the submittals, and several of them were rated. You saw the scores on there, so there were some that were there. And my direction to staff, I wasn't involved in the scoring this time, and I used it as an opportunity for some of the other staff to learn how to look at something, to learn the process of scoring. They did a great job on this when I went and reviewed everything. And so I told them when I was driving to Amarillo that I wanted to, or maybe it was Monday, that I wanted them to interview the top 2. And so they went ahead and did that yesterday and today, and this led to the decision to recommend that we award it to this group.
So I have a question, a couple of questions actually. Have any of the 2 teams that were interviewed worked with projects locally in Pecos, and do they have local staff in Pecos?
No, ma'am. They do not. They've worked on similar projects, but it's been all across the state. I think the one that they're recommending here, I think that Heather told me, I think they're based out of Georgia. So they're a national firm. I mean, that's,
During the interview process, we did discuss boots on ground, their experience. Some of these firms have done 70 plus of these worldwide. Yes, throughout the United States, because it is a U.S. DOT grant. It wasn't just for Texas, so they have a lot of experience with these specific, with this specific comprehensive plan, and of course the eligibility requirements, making sure we're meeting all the criteria for the funding.
So y'all make sure that they meet the criteria before you, so you can score them and then interview them.
Yes, so we put out the RFQ on what we're gonna be scoring them on what the criteria is gonna be. So each firm turned in their qualifications, and that's what we scored was off their qualifications.
Who's involved in the committee to score?
It's made up, the majority is made up with staff, so we have our Public Works Director, myself, we have finance personnel.
We had Deandra Manchando, we had Marianne Lopez, Amaris Vasquez, all from finance. That's where I made the comment earlier that I wasn't going to be involved in this one because I need them to do it, plus I was going out of town. And that's part of the growth piece that I'm trying to put in there. So we're going to rotate people who are doing this on a regular basis. And from my perspective, it's the best way to do it for the reason that somebody that's not, like, I understand a lot of this, so I'm going to score it totally different than somebody that doesn't understand this. But when we put out the criteria that we have to grade them on or score them on, it gives somebody else a different perspective to take a look at it. That's how come all the scoring is done independently, so no one knows how anybody else is scoring any of the applications. That is what is required by state law. But for us to continue with succession planning and that, I need some of the younger staff to start getting involved in some of this so they see the process, they start understanding the process. Does it mean somebody that knows nothing about SS4A is taking a look at this? Absolutely it does. But sometimes they can give you the best insight after the fact, because then once everything is scored, you can have conversation after that is done. So once everything was done, then they can talk about it, and you can see. You don't get to change your scores. Your score is your score. But then you can talk, and then you can say, well, I looked at this one this way. This is why I thought this one was different or better. Or, you know what, they hit every bullet point that was in that RFQ 100%. Or they failed in this aspect.
But if they don't understand the process or what the actual, like the SS4A, I don't understand how they would be able to, I guess it's, if you're knowledgeable about it, you're able to, do you see what I'm saying? Like, what experience do they have to make these types of
The difficult piece there, there's nobody in the city, except for maybe me, that is going to understand this. Possibly Heather too a little bit, because she's been involved in some of the meetings. But if Heather and I go in there and we score it, we're not scoring it in the recommended methodology that the state has out there. I'm going to bias it. If I'm in there and I'm saying something, that's why you have to score independently. If I go in a meeting to score something and we're talking about it, and I said, well, I think this is the best one, there's a 99% probability that they're going to follow what my recommendation is. That's one of the reasons that we do it like that. It's not a perfect process. So having somebody that has a little bit of knowledge and somebody that has no knowledge, a lot of times you get a better mix. So there may be some, and they may say, well, I don't understand this, and so they didn't meet that criteria, so they give it a 10. Whereas, okay, I know exactly what they're out there. They're knocking this out of the park. I give them a 10. So once or 100. Once we get to that piece, it's normally, statistically, it's normally going to average out to where you get the overall highest score that way, and it's going to normally guide you in the right way. Will it be wrong sometimes? Absolutely. One thing about this process is if whoever we award this to, if at a point in time we determine, you know what, this is just not a good match, we can terminate that contract and then move on to number 2 or number 3.
And that delays it.
It delays the process. The other thing about this and why we put a short window on it is because we were awarded back in March, and we started working through this. And by the time I got all of the paperwork and information from there, it was going to put us in a position that it could have, because this process has to be done by August of next year. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yes.
There is time.
Yeah. So we're in the time crunch. So I mean, the other evaluation piece of it, and went through the interviews, is both of these firms that were the top two were able to meet the deadline criteria. We had multiple firms. We got a lot of people in here that are sitting in here that bid on the process. And some of them are in here to see, okay, well, was I that top score? I don't think we have anybody here from Georgia tonight, okay? So,
That's probably,
so
they're not going to be here.
they're not going to be here, but they will be. I mean,
I don't like that.
I know, and I understand that. I understand that.
I get that.
I do. Crystal clear. No. I know. And
That
the-
is something on the scoring that's not something we,
Score on.
yes, that wasn't
Oh, the-
part of the criteria to
But knowing where they're
score.
from, in my view, we would have held an opinion.
Mhm.
Because
And I
now
can,
we're looking, if they're gonna do the work, the expense of the travel, what are they gonna have?
Mhm.
Cost.
Absolutely, and that's where the negotiations come into play, and it means if we don't get to an agreed upon price, then we move on to the next one. There's no guarantee, this is who we recommend, but if we can't negotiate a contract with these guys, it's not gonna work.
I can tell you that the top two, they had the fastest timeline to get this done because of the experience with SS for
Hey.
A plans.
And I understand what Councilman DeVito is asking, you know, we've got a set of questions governed by the state. And we send out their information, but so am I.
Well, no, the RFQs, we determine what those are based upon the schedule. We did get input from some of the consultants as to what questions we should ask, because no one here is an expert on SS4A. It's a program that has been developed. It's been out for a while now, but there's not a lot of history to it. So I've never dealt with an SS4A grant, okay? And neither has anybody on our staff. So we had to get information from best practices about some of the qualifications that we needed to put in there, and we put them in there. And that's where everyone who turns in a submittal gets the same exact question, so there's no disparity or no favoritism. If one of them has, through the period where they want to ask a question, the question is answered and it's sent to everybody. So no one gets anything different than anyone else. So that's the only way to, from state law, procurement law standpoint, it keeps it fair. I will add just a little bit that it doesn't matter who we get to do this as soon as we get this done. The benefit that it's going to be to the community is it's going to be beneficial not only to the city, but also to the county, as well as the school district when they issue their bond for the one that we talked about, helping with streets and sidewalks and safe passages for kids and lighting. This plan is going to be instrumental in making that move forward. So that's why it's not a rush. We're not rushing it, but it's something that has to be, we need a decision on fairly soon so that we can make sure that we meet the criteria.
There is a deadline to the grant, or we won't get it at all, so we've got to get something.
Or we have to repay it. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so.
So I'll make a motion that the Northwest City Manager to negotiate a contract. It's Resolution 2509,
I have a motion from Councilman Graham, a second from Councilman Arona to approve Resolution 25-09-03R as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm opposed.
So the motion does not carry.
I think we need more time to review it and make sure that we're proceeding with the
Well,
other council members, and maybe possibly get a little bit of time to review it a little bit more.
We can bring it back at the next council meeting on October, or September 25th.
I thought it did.
What is the
Was it
deadline?
2 against? I didn't hear the motion.
One against, but we only got 2 for, 1 against. Oh,
So it carries, doesn't it? If 2 are for and 1's against?
Well, we have a quorum.
So 2 votes would carry.
So they're taken for a poll.
So the motion does carry. Valerie voted against. Okay. So we'll go on to item F7, discuss, consider the naming, sponsorship, and/or other options of a field at Cyclone Ballpark Gold for enhance Pecos's quality of life through recreation, culture, and education. This is brought to us from Hector Crosco, but he's not in the meeting today.
Any input, Mayor and Council? I would recommend that we just table this until the next meeting so we can have everybody here that
So
we need
Hector
that.
could be here.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, I can speak on his behalf, but I don't know that I'm going to do justice to it.
Can I make a motion to table item F7 until Councilor Carrasco is present to give his input and more information?
They are here tonight.
Would y'all be right with that? We'd rather have Hector here than what he can do is.
It's y'all's decision. Just to let you know that I am moving forward to doing a scholarship fundraiser for him in 3 weeks, which is October 4th. And I really wanted to hope that y'all would pass through this, so that I could actually have an opening ceremony just to dedicate it for him on October 4th. But if it's not possible, if y'all want to push it, then I'm still going forward. I'm doing my scholarship for him. And then we'll just have to do something later on. If you do pass it later on, or if you don't pass it later on, it's up to you. I mean,
Our next meeting would be September the 25th, so.
The thing is that I wanted to get the word out there, enough time to get people out there to support this. And if we table it, and it's all decision to table it, if we table it, that means that I won't do the memorial for him, or at least the presentation, and we'll do it some other time. Because I want to get enough of the community out there to be there for him. And a couple of days before that is not enough time to get at least enough people that want to come out of town to do it. Because he has a lot of friends that went to college with him that are coming down. Well, they're still coming down this time, but for them to come down later on would be something different. But it's up to your decision. I mean,
What was the name that
Did you want to, what did Hector want?
Well, I don't think there was a decision as to how it was going to be done, whether it was going to be a plaque or whatever.
To proceed.
To
And
proceed.
I can,
the naming of the field? We get the name and we push it.
I think so, just to avoid a delay. And then at the next meeting, Hector can be here and we can,
At this time,
And are you doing, are you, okay, I got to ask a question, I need clarification, because there were some different ideas thrown out. Are we going to put a plaque out there? Are we going to name the field that? Are we going to put some type of monument out there? What are we going to do? Because that's where we got to get clarification on it, because I just want to make sure that we're doing the right thing from that standpoint. And no disrespect to anybody here, I just want to make sure that the direction is right that way.
Did Hector talk to you all about that?
yeah, he did. He asked about putting a plaque out there and then naming the field after him.
That's what
I think that's what I was.
That was my understanding, was we're gonna name the field after him and have a plaque there just to, everybody can see the plaque for him.
And this
That
will
was
be
my
field
understanding.
2.
Well, we have, and the reason that I'm throwing this out, and like I said, no disrespect, I think there may be a contract that's pending right now. I don't know where it's at. I'd have to follow up for a sponsor that was going to ask for naming rights for Field 2.
So
So,
can we pass it with the caveat that for a field to be named, go ahead and pass the ordinance with the name.
So they
and the
can
plaque.
proceed
They can proceed,
to-
but the field would be chosen at a later time. Because if you say
Or
we're going to have.
I think the family and Hector had it because I think he did most of his practices on Field 2, if I'm not
He had
mistaken.
most of the coaching was on
Most of the
field.
coaching was on field two. That's why the selection was field two and the recommendation from Councilman Carrasco through my conversations. Your all's authority.
Well, if we go ahead and say to name the field, can the sponsor, if they're talking to, go to field three?
That's what I would tell them that they had to do. Absolutely. It's not a matter of whether they would. I mean, they wouldn't be available
It's no
anymore.
longer available.
Yeah.
I don't think I would feel comfortable putting a price tag with somebody. Sponsorships are important. I understand that, and especially at Cyclone, we need to push that. But I feel that this is something that is in best interest of the community and in appreciation of everything that.
We need to recognize our heroes. We did tell them about that. Yes. So we need the name? I'm sorry, but
The name of the field? So my memory's-
I did. Suggestions, Parker, on how we could proceed and just, like, allow him to continue, for the advertisement and planning?
What is it that you want to do? Is it
name the field after.
Yeah, and we wanted to name it Cruz Gomez Junior Legacy Field. That's what we wanted.
Come back again. Can you say it again?
Cruz Gomez Junior Legacy Field. That's what we wanted.
Cruz Gomez Junior Legacy.
Legacy Field.
I don't see why I mean, it's listed on the agenda. You can make it as a resolution to name Field 2, Cruz Gomez Junior Legacy Field, or however you want to phrase it.
With possible changes coming from Councilman Carrasco, so that then we can amend and add.
Wanted to name.
Yes. And then at this time, I make a motion to name Field 2, the Cruz Gomez Junior Legacy Field.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilwoman Trujillo to name Field 2 at Cyclone Ballparks the Cruz Gomez Junior Legacy Field. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, so we do have executive session?
We do.
Okay, so at this time, we will go into executive session under Government Code 551.071, consultation with attorney, 551.072 real estate, 551.074 personnel issues, and 551.087 economic development. And it is 6:46 p.m. is 8:21 PM. Is there anything from executive session that needs to be brought to open session? Okay. Items for our next city council meeting.
Can I revisit the budget, next agenda item? Was there a better way to do it, or do it on the agenda?
What do you want to look at?
I want to look at the $100,000 demo, if you could find a way to put more into that.
We doubled it. It's doubled in the budget. That you approved.
You what? You all approved it
We
after the
approved it.
fact. They listened to what you all said.
We listened to
So
everything
they
you
doubled
said.
it.
If anybody made a suggestion, it was included.
Thank you. And then, professional services, if we could get a little more detail on professional services. So that doesn't need to be on our agenda item, but
I'll give it to you.
Items for the agenda? Nothing? Okay. So we are adjourned, and it is 8:22 PM.